took off the brake shield because front passenger side, perfect, is the first one that I need. Good morning and welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Eddie. Hope you're all having a good day, because right now we're gonna be diving into no other than power bleeding. So as you know, we just, if you saw my last video, installed these beautiful front brakes. We didn't do the rear because I was over here doing the suspension, as I mentioned in like 2 or 3 videos before. Popped out all the bushings. So I was like, being that I have everything apart, I might as well just do the big brake kit in the front, and then I'll move myself all the way to the back, do the rear, you know, fix the e-brake, because as you guys know, this car hasn't been taken care of. So we're practically replacing everything and rebuilding. And that just goes to say that if you're not part of the build, guys, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell. So without further ado, let's go into bleeding the brakes. I'm gonna go ahead and cut some lines. This morning I went early to Lowe's. I got a vinyl tubing, that way we can definitely connect the lines to the calipers, because this car has not 1 but 2 valves. So yeah, we definitely gonna go ahead and just, I'm gonna run 2 lines into a nice little water bottle, that way it could just be pumped straight from the master cylinder. Yes, it's a one-man job with this little beautiful product. I'll put a link in the description below in case you guys are interested in picking it up, but it makes a life hell of a lot easier, especially if you bleed brakes all the time or you do routine maintenances on your car. Then this should be part of your foundation of tools, let me tell you. But alright guys, let me hook it up. Alright guys, so just keep your tissue placed down there. That way in case any brake fluid comes off, you'll be good to go. Wow, look how dirty she is. This is what I did before with the clutch. And that is now the brake master cylinder. That is the way it's supposed to look over here. Nice and clean. And this is the way it looks right now. So let's change that, guys. Guys, with the power bleeder. Alright, we got it running into the master cylinder. As you can see, this is the way I got it around my car. It's a universal adapter, but generally that's the way you will put it around. The rounded part on the bottom going into the cylinder. Then you just tighten this bad boy up, make it nice and even, and once it's flush, you're good to start pumping this up. And then, so that way you guys can see it a little more up close. So this is one bleeder valve, and that is the other. Many cars always have 1. This one here has 2. So I'm gonna run 2 lines into my big plastic bottle over here. That way I don't have to keep dumping it every so often. It'll make life a lot more easier. So let me just run some lines, 1 and 2 over here. That way I can go ahead and bleed it. Guys, So boom, there you have it. I'm gonna leave the little tag on, that way I can know this one is for the inner, this is the outer. I did it a little longer, as you just saw right now. Didn't cut it to the exact fit because it's a little more on the outside, but all right, let's continue and let's hook it up. Right now, I'm gonna go ahead and change that caliper line, the brake line, into the big brake kit. So here I bought 4 of these. You only really need 2 if you're doing this conversion, especially for the rear. That's the ones that you mainly need these for. Okay, this attaches to the brake line, but honestly, I was like, you know what? The condition this car is in, let me just make it look a little better by changing out the bolt. That way it could look like everything's just falling into place. Brand new calipers, brand new rotors, brand new pads. Let me just get a brand new bolt as well. So let me just transfer this over real quick. All right guys, I just gotta take a quick moment to thank PowerStop, because at the end of the day, they really do leak test their calipers before sending them out. So thank you PowerStop for that. There's actual brake fluid coming out. So yeah. Boom. So yes, thank you PowerStop for quality control. Hey, you guys are doing good. Alright guys, sorry I had to swap that over real quick, but here you have the washer on the outside and on the inside as well. Both are there. I just had to switch it up. I'm sorry I couldn't record the whole thing, but I had to move quick. So I moved it in. Now I'm gonna go ahead and plug 2 lines here, and then we complete it from there. So I have 2 lines. These are 1/4 lines that I actually got from Lowe's. Alright guys, welcome to my tight little space. Gotta work with what you have, right? But I'm gonna go ahead and do the passenger side right now, and I have a lot more room over there. Unlike over here, I'm barely no room. But over here I have a lot more to work with. Alright guys, so first things first, let's go over here and just open this bad boy up. Let's put some new fluid in her. Now for the power bleeder, you're not going to use the entire thing. You're going to leave just a little bit, because once you finish with this, you're not going to be able to really dump everything into there. And save that's low, at least you'll have a little bit left to refill her. But yeah guys, between the suspension upgrade that I did, you know, popping out all the bushings and putting the energy suspension bushings, and not for nothing, my bushings were already bad. The ball joints were bad. Well, if you see my previous video, I'll put a link here. It shows that the suspension definitely needed an upgrade. But between that and the brakes, to have it on the road in one shot, ooh. And then this weekend I'll get to the rear and do a proper flush. Alright, so now I just pump it up till it gets to about 15 psi. Alright guys, there you have it. It doesn't need to be exactly 15 as long as it's pressurized. So then, being that this is already hooked up, I'm just going to show you how it works. So basically you will start with the inner and then go to the outer. I'm just showing you here real quick before we start to the passenger side, because this part is already hooked up. So you'll definitely just go ahead and open it up, and then you'll see it flow into here. Let me just show you guys, because there's no air bubble. So yeah guys, it's that simple. You do 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and just keep opening and closing it. So let me switch it over, and then we'll continue that side. Also guys, as you come to a close and you're finishing this up, just go ahead and don't get a hammer. Just tap it all the way around, just in case there's any bubbles anywhere. It'll come to the top. Tap it around, open and close it 2 more times, just to ensure before disconnecting that there's no more bubbles in the system. But before I begin the other side, I'm just going to go ahead and depressurize my power bleeder. Alright guys, so right now we're going to go ahead and remove the brake line over here on the caliper. So let's remove that bolt right now. And then have your new bolt handy. That way you're ready to do the swap. Before you do this though, I highly recommend that you double check your reservoir and make sure it's filled, because you definitely do not want that to go on E, because then you introduce air into the entire system, and that is not a good thing. So here we are, we got 2 washers and our bolt. It's gonna go like this. You're gonna have 1 washer already on it, and then as you put it through the brake line itself, once the brake line is on, you're gonna go ahead and attach this as well, and then you'll just put it into the caliper from there. So right now let's take this one off, but let's also have it handy, that way we can do the transfer quickly as possible. If you got some extra bolts, some new ones, just make sure that they fit into the caliper before removing that bolt, because if not, you're gonna have to use the factory bolt. And we are good to go. So now that we checked that, back ready?
Yeah, time to go get ready now.
All right, good luck. Have fun.
We'll see some nice stinking women.
All right. There she's going. She's leaking. Let's take her off. All right, there we go. That flange came off real quick. Now we got the screw on. Of course you want to act fast, but if your reservoir is full, you're still going to be good, don't worry. Don't panic and rush yourself so much that you get anxious. Like, oh my god, I gotta do this. Huh? And the screw's like falling out of your hand and everything because it's all slippery. Don't panic guys, you'll be fine. There we go. You want to make sure before you tighten this and before you start bleeding that everything is still aligned. So here you go. Just make sure that if this was to bolt up, all the lines are intact. This one flows nice and easy, and this one here folds nice and easy with no bends. So I hope that definitely did help somebody right there. All right guys, so now that we got it on and everything is fitting perfect, this is where my little OCD kicks in. I like to ensure that the line is flowing nice and easy and straight. Basically this is coming down at an angle. That's that. And then you guys know me, I torque everything. Torque everything to factory. I don't tighten nothing by hand. Alright, so just to show you what I'm talking about real quick, because on the factory caliper, the brake line actually sits like this. It comes up and over, up and over. So for this here, it's much better to have it at this angle. And as you can see here, it's pretty much aligned when you think about it to this line right here. Maybe that could be a reference point, but as you can see here, that's a nice even flow. It's not like this, it's not like this. It's just perfect, like right in the middle. Now I'm just gonna put this on top real quick. So now that this is set and you're good to go, you can start bleeding your brakes. Alright guys, so sorry for the bad audio. We're now on the phone. I'm gonna go ahead and open up this valve over here. That way you can see how it flows as if somebody's actually inside pressing on the brakes. So let me just show you that real quick. Alright, there she goes. She is actually filling up right now with fluid for the first time ever. there she goes. Let's crank her up a little bit more. All right. And there you go. Ooh. She's now going into there. So now that she is open, we just let her bleed for a little bit. Let the air come out. Once a lot of bubbles come out, maybe like after 20 seconds or so, I close it up and then move to the other side. Alright, so now that this side is closed, we're going to go ahead and dive into this side over here. Ooh, look at that. So let me just close it up now, and then from there I'll just go back and forth until both sides don't have any bubbles. So like right now I'm gonna go ahead and tackle the inside again, and I'll hold it for about maybe 10 seconds, leave it open, and then I'll go over here, do the same on the outside, 10 seconds, close it, 10 seconds, close it, 10 seconds, close it. That way the air could come to the top while the other one is pumping. So let me do that a few times and I'll touch base with you shortly. Alright guys, so right now I just finished bleeding the brake system. Before I disconnect and actually remove everything, I'm just gonna run inside and press on the brakes now. Being that this caliper is connected and the other one is connected as well, so now it's safe for me to step on the brake. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that real quick, and then I'm gonna come back after the pedal's hard. I'm gonna open them up once more and see how they look, if any air comes out, and if none comes out on both sides, we're good to go. But before I do that, I'm just gonna go ahead and release the pressure on my power bleeder. That way I don't have two pressures coming from one location. So let me just depressurize the system now. Then I'll go inside and pump up the brakes. Just came from inside right now, pumping up the brakes. It did get hard, so that's a good thing. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and open up the valves and see how we doing. But before we do that, just gotta pressurize the system once more, because I wanna make sure we're all good. Let's take a look. Ah, we got some bubbles. Nice. Alright guys, so I'm just gonna bleed it one more time, being that I'm already here. And that just goes to show, bleeding is not always 1, 2, 3. I'm glad I came across this right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and bleed on both sides, and then I'll get back to you soon. We just finished up bleeding the 350Z brakes, and boy does it feel good. So ultimately, let's talk. I did one full pass on each side. After that, I pressed the brakes and did a half a pass on this side and a half a pass on that side. Altogether, I did one pass and a half. And that worked out perfectly fine. I have no air bubbles at all whatsoever. I have a stiff pedal right now. Of course, the car hasn't been turned on, but I know for sure there's no air bubbles. Yeah guys, there you have it. Ultimately, using the power bleeder, it takes about 1.5 passes to complete each side, just to be safe. But at the end of the day, right now, I'm gonna go ahead and do the rear maybe in about 2 or 3 days when I have a few moments, and then I'm gonna bleed the system all the way around in the correct sequence once more, putting new fluid into the system, because as you saw before, this brake fluid, it was extremely dirty, extremely black, and now it's clear. Yeah, so now it's clear. It's similar to my clutch fluid now, so as you can see, way better. But alright guys, I thought I'd just chime in real quick, hit the record button to help you guys out, In case you are interested in bleeding your brakes, this is my method. You can definitely use a vacuum bleeder. You can use another person, wifey, or your partner, whoever that may be, to help you bleed the brakes and scream hold, press, hold while you release it. Or you could just get a beautiful power bleeder and make your life a lot more simpler to bleed the entire system the correct way. Number one, you don't have to worry about it overfilling. You don't have to worry about it at the same time running out of fluid, because it's always going to have fluid there. And it keeps constant pressure on the system, so you just open and close the valve, and that's it. Beautiful. 1, 2, 3. So all right guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here, put everything together, go for a test drive. After like a few miles, once the zinc coating is removed, I'll then go ahead and bed the brakes, and I'll probably make a video about that as well. That way it can sit correctly and I have the ultimate stopping performance. Not for nothing longevity wise, it'll last a lot longer too. But alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and close out the vlog here. I hope you enjoyed this bleeding system with me. If you guys are not already subscribed to the channel, definitely smash that subscribe button. Join the build, join the vlogs. Let's have a good time together. And at the end of the day, possibly learn something. You know, we're always learning together, so hey, let's go for it. So if you also found this video helpful and you enjoyed the content, don't forget to definitely smash that like button. And like always guys, think for the future, enjoy your present, and don't focus too much on the past. Peace.